britches on, put the britches on. Now then, this is a garage helmet review of the Adventure Spec Atacama race pants. They're a fairly new pant, I suppose, to the adventure bike riding market. I've been using these trousers, or as we call in America, pants, for a few months now, trail riding and road riding in the UK. I've used them through summer months and just been using them in the winter. By the end of this review, I hope you'll have a really good idea of how the Atacama pants possibly fit with your style of riding, and if they're, if there's something that's worth your while buying. I hope this review will come across as a bit different to your typical review. I want to be talking about the finer points of ownership and just going through more of the detail on the trousers rather than just like an overview. So without further ado, let's have a look. So what I'm going to do is go through the trousers top to bottom, starting at the top. One thing that I really like about these is they have this Adventure Spec logo in here is rubberized and it's really, really grippy. You won't have any trouble needing braces. Well, I don't need braces anyways, and they don't fall down even if I'm stood up trail riding on green lanes and like. We've also got a really comfortable zip garage, so when that zips right up, where my thumb is there is where a zip would normally be if you've got a bit of a gut on you, which I haven't really. Sometimes a zip can dig in your gut. What I do have is a bit of a hairy belly, so sometimes I nab hairs, but I never nab hairs with this. That's quite good. We've also got loops for braces should you want to use them at the front and the back, and they seem well sewn in. They go behind this grip strip, so they're sewn in right to the back there. Another thing I like about these is the double press studs, so when that's clicked shut you have a hard time popping that open. They're really good then, they're really secure studs. And then looking at the back, we have a stretch panel up at the top, so when you sat down the trousers do give a bit. You've also got a big loop for a belt if you want to put your own belt in at the back there, and you've got loops all the way around. It does have an integrated belt and it's sewn into the pants at the back here, and it comes around, obviously connects to one of these sort of clip style connectors that you find on outdoorsy trousers, walking trousers and the like, and then you adjust the tension with these two buckles here. I really like this. It doesn't ride up into your gut, it doesn't move anywhere, and it just supports, it all helps with this grabby silicone print on the inside here. So altogether the top half of the trousers I think is really good. As you move down, you've got what seems to be obligatory vent panels in trousers nowadays. These ones have like a mesh line in them, so it stops them opening right up, but it also stops, I've had happen with a pair of Revit trousers and me climb Badlands. I've had a fly or a wasp or something buzzing my trousers, and obviously when you're riding along it's a bit unnerving when you've got something buzzing around your this bit here. So it's good that they've got mesh in them. That's a good feature. They're nice and easy to do as you're riding as well, so there's no worries there. With regard to these panels as well, comparing to trousers I've had in the past and a pair I've still got now, I've got the Revit Poseidon sat next to me, which you can't see. Zip panels are alright. These are better, as I say, because they've got this line in, so it stops bits and bobs flying in and bits of crud getting in, but particularly flies and wasps and bees and the like, don't like them flying around my nether regions. Out of all of the systems I've used for leg ventilation, Revit use fid locks, which are like a little magnetic clasp. I'll do another video on this. I'll show you my Poseidons, which I think are probably the best all-round trouser. And they've got this system, so it's got a little panel, and you can literally, as you're riding along, if it's on your leg here, you can just pop it open, and it just clips in. You don't have to touch it. You just lift it up, and it's sort of, the magnets find this connector in and just lock in. And when you want to undo them, you just pop them up and fold them down. And dead easy to use. So as you ride along, if you get a bit of a sweat on, which you invariably do when you're riding green lanes and the like, once you hit the road you can crack the vents open and get a load of airflow. With these it's the same sort of thing, but they're a bit harder to use while you're riding. And then the climb ones especially really hard because you haven't got this mesh in the centre. You can't, when you try and pull the zip, the pants just want to stay still. The zip doesn't want to come down. At least with this little panel in the middle, the zip's reasonably easy to action, but they're not as good as the fidlock panels, I think. on the Revit trousers. I think they're superb. Right, next thing, so we've looked at the vents. A couple of things are the stretch panel in the crotch is really good. It's like almost like a cross, so you've got the front of the cross there, and when you turn the trousers over, there's a cross that comes up the back as well, and that just gives you loads of play and room around the crotch. It's easy to flick your leg over a bike, and it just makes them really comfortable to wear, to be honest, up to the top. They're not, I mean, nothing's as comfortable as a set of good old joggers in the garage, but these are probably the best trousers I've had in terms of flexibility and being able to move around. They're superb. And also tucked away on the insides here, which they don't mention on the Adventure Spec website or anywhere I've seen, there's tiny little crotch vents as well. And in the summer and when it's cold, so it's a good thing and a bad thing, this, you can feel a billy wind whistling through your legs when you're riding along, which is quite nice when you're being grafted on a green lane and you've got a little bit of airflow there through the nether regions. And also stretch again, these accordion panels have got loads of give in them, and they're in the perfect position, so when you're on the bike they just sit about here, and they just you can move your legs so easy. You can move around on the bike, and if you're off the bike and you're working on it, I can sit down like this in these trousers, and I've got loads of stretch and loads of give. What I'll do is once I've ran over the trousers, I'll put them on, and I'll show you how stretchy they are. They are quite good in that regard. So moving on, the knee pockets got loads of room in them. They're designed for knee braces. I think that was the idea. But even I use the force field armour, which is what they designed the pockets to fit, and these do fit really nice and they sit on your knee perfect. Without the force field armour in, or without the knee braces, it's surprising they're not that baggy still. They fit nice. The cut's just quite good. So it's not too much of a worry them being too baggy if you're not using knee braces. So next bit is these inners. They're made of some funky material. I don't know what it is, but it's like a rubbery material with like it's got a bit more grip than rubber. It's got like a, can you hear it? It's got a sort of funny textured finish to it, but it is nice stuff. It washes easy. It dries a lot quicker than leather. It grips the bike well. It doesn't seem to mark my bike. I've had it on when I've been riding the 990, and they've ran this same material right from up top. It runs all the way down, and it also makes up part of the cuff as well, and also covers the Velcro adjustments at the bottom of the trouser. It's good stuff this so far. I mean, I've been using it off road and none of the stitching's come in or anything, and it's wearing nice in that it's not wearing at all so far. Seems good, and I've been really hacky in them, so that's good stuff. And then what I like about them running it on the outside of the trouser here, where the Velcro adjustment is that this is sort of an area where, on UK trail riding anywhere, you get a lot of brambles and stuff, so the outside of your trousers here, pretty much bang on this spot, gets ripped up by bramble and the like, but because this patch is here, it's really tough stuff, and it's not showing any signs of wear, or I've just been really, really lucky. But again, in another video I'll show you my Revit Poseidons. They're starting to get fluffed up and picked and things at the bottom, whereas these aren't, and I think I've been using these more off on the lanes than I have the Revit. With the Velcro fastening, it's easy to use, and it's good that they've got these squares, so obviously you can close it right up, so that becomes, I'd have trouble getting a normal pair of boots in there, never mind motorbike boots. You can take it right down. But again, with off-road riding, I don't like Velcro, because the moment this stuff gets full of mud and you need to take them off for whatever reason on a weekend, say away, you try and put them back together, and good luck with that, because the mud doesn't really work too well with Velcro and they won't stick. However, hats off to Adventure Spec, because they've put this little clip in, so there ain't no way that's ever coming apart. The plastic that's made of seems to be good quality, and also they've thought about the buckle system where the excess webbing tucks away inside the pants, so it's just perfect. There's nothing hanging out. It's a really tidy system, and also these are set to fit my Alpinestars Toucan at the moment. I've just got a pair of City Adventure, which I'll do a video on as well if people want me to, comparison. And these fit over my Alpinestars Toucans quite nicely. I just leave it like that, slide it over the boot, clip that shut, and then that's it. They're tight around the bottom, so if you go through fords and things like that, you haven't got water riding up through the trousers like you do with other trousers. So yeah, brilliant system, well thought out. Not so sure on the Velcro, but you've got the backup of the buckle, so no problems there. I'm going to get up again because my ankle's hurting. Oh. One last thing I'd like to mention is the temperature range of these. Adventure Spec on their website say that you should only be using these down to 10 degrees C, or that's their recommended range anyway. Recently I've been riding these in 3 degrees, but I have had a pair of just normal merino wool leggings on, and then with a pair of cruddy Oxford rain seal trousers over the top, which I've torn to ribbons. But that combination, the rain seal trousers and a merino legging and these trousers, I reckon you're good for 5 degrees and a little bit less, depends on how tolerant you are of the cold. Just wanted to mention that. Also, the fabric is water repellent. I've been out in a bit of rain with them, but they soon start soaking up water. I reckon you get probably 20 minutes of sort of persistent rain, not really heavy rain, and then you start to feel water coming through with this material once it, you know, becomes a bit of a sponge and soaks everything up. So really, you want a pair of waterproof trousers over the top if you use them in the rain, which is what Adventure Spec recommend. And on that as well, I think personally trousers like this in the UK are not really very well suited, because it's a clat on putting waterproof trousers on over boots and trousers when you're out on a trail or you're out on the road or you're riding your bike, whatever, and you've got to get a pair of these waterproof trousers on with wet boots on and mud all over you. It just doesn't really work. So for me, these are more a summer trouser or something. If you don't mind getting too wet, fair enough, wear them. I prefer a Gore-Tex trouser because it just does everything. And if you get something which is decent, and I think the Revit Poseidon is, which has good venting, I think you can manage UK climate quite comfortably. So this system, like the layering system Adventure Spec subscribe to, is a good idea with a jacket. So I have like a thermal thing like this on. It's just a Billy Basic top from where's it from? Decathlon. And then I do have the linesman jacket, which again I'll do a video on at some point. And then I'll put a waterproof jacket over that. But it's so easy to put a jacket on and off, it's no problem. But with trousers, I think you need a Gore-Tex trouser in the UK. I don't think these are good in the summer, good on a dry day. But if you get caught in the rain or you go through a ford or anything like that and get soaking wet, that's it. They're raw off, and you're freezing. But that's just my 2 cents. I mean, people think different things, but that's why I'm going to sell these to my friend Steve. But after he sees this review, he'll probably think, nah, I'm not going to bother them. So maybe I'll wait. Right, last point on the outside of the trousers, and something which is probably overlooked and I don't worry about too much, is there's a nice bit of reflective detail on the back. So when you sat on the bike, these two flare up nicely in car headlights, and when you stood up, you get this nice pattern shows up in headlights. So I think that's good. And it's just so you can see the back. You've got big stretch panels on the back of the legs as well. So again, when I was talking earlier about the stretch of them, they are good. They're as close to jogging bottoms as you'll get, I reckon, without wearing jogging bottoms. Right, I've flipped the trousers inside out so you can see what they're like on the inside, because people rarely show you this, which annoys me. These are, again, I think they're well designed on the inside. They've got armour pockets, obviously hip and knee armour. These pockets are made of nice, really nice soft material. It's quite stretchy and pliable as well. And the Velcro and everything's well sewn in. Sometimes Velcro's not very well done. The stitching lines are perfect on these, and you can't really fault that. The armour I'm using is the force field stuff, which Adventure Spec recommend you fit. Level 2. It's the stuff that's soft, and then when you whack it one, if you come off your bike, it's meant to absorb the impact, and so far I've come off a few times and I've never had any trouble, apart from my ankle. But these aren't around my ankles, so that's okay. The lining on the trousers is well thought out as well. We've got a wicking sort of mesh line that's comfortable around the crotch area and around your bum and stuff. And the stretch panels are covered on the back with this really nice soft material. It's the same as the armour pockets. And then the inner leg, again, I like making a noise with the materials, can you tell? It's lined with heavier duty polyester, so with boots on, it doesn't seem to be affecting these. My boots have got buckles on them. Again, it doesn't seem to be showing any signs of wear, and I've used them a fair bit off road and stuff. I do look after my gear. I've washed them now and again. I tend not to put them in the washing machine. I just brush myself down when I've been on a ride, and I hose them down and get them as clean as I can and just keep them like that. So I do look after my kit, but I do think it is well made and it's made to last. So overall, pretty decent trousers. Backside, same sort of deal. Bit of a lining, and then all this stuff's coated all up, like 2/3 of the way up the trousers. So if you've got boots on, they'll probably only come about here, and you've got a bit more lining there for knee braces and stuff, so they won't damage any of the inner linings and stuff. Good job. I'll put them on and talk about how they fit over boots and how they feel, and show you how flexible they are and stuff. See you in a bit. So here we are. The wonderful trousers on, as you can see. Bend down in them, no problem. I don't think you can do this. I wouldn't be able to do this in a set of Badlands trousers, that's for sure. So they are like really, really flexible, really stretchy, perfect in that regard. And I think they're a nice fit. 14.5 stone. Not got too much belly on us. That's as relaxed. 6 foot. 33 inch side. No, 32 inch inside leg. And my thighs, which is the point I want to make about these, come up at 26 inch, just below the Jacobs, about here. And these trousers are pretty snug around there. When I crack the vents, I've actually got enough room. But when they're done up, zipped up, I'm struggling a bit for room. They're alright, but you especially, I don't know, you can feel it, they are a little bit snug. And I've got the hip armour in now. I've got the knee armour in. I'll show you putting my boots on and see what you think about that. Booties, booties, booties! So, as I was saying, I've got these set to fit over my Alpinestars Toucan boots. So all I've got to do is unclip. This is where it all goes wrong. Set my foot in and lift the boot up. And then you just drop over like that. And I've got them set in such a way they just nip up nicely. Just clip the buckle. So, in terms of getting stuff on, which I think is important, because some trousers are a bloody nightmare, I think these are really quite good. So it's kind of a set and forget, as long as you've got, you're using the same pair of boots, but even then you can just nip up the velcro. And then I've got, these boots are quite chunky around the top, there's still room in there. You can get a motocross boot in there. I've got a pair of former motocross boots and they fit in perfect, loads of room, and I can cinch them down a lot further than they are now. So if you've got, I've got some City Adventures there that I'm going to have a look at, City Adventure 2, and we'll see how they fit with them at some point. But for now, with me trusty old Toucans, they fit real nice, and they stop water and stuff getting up as easily as it normally would with, say, a pair of in the boot pants or something like that. That's why I like a over the boot trouser. So there you go. What do you think? Made for dancing? I think so. I'll jump on the bike and show you how they fit, but again, you can see them panels opening right up. There's room here. I mean, that's the limit of the stretch of the crotch while I'm like that. If I go much further, I think I'll bust the seams, but that's more because of the meatiness of my thighs, I think. Meaty thighs. I'll jump on the bike. Oh dear. So that's what I like stood up. The strip there comes obviously way higher than the level of most bikes, I would say. And if you want to lean forward and get hold of the bike, it's right up here. So if I'm gripping the end of the tank of this BM, the grip's nice. Loads of movement in them. When you sit down, there's tons of stretch in them. Fit wise like that, you can't fault them. I keep going about the thighs. I've just had a thought. If I go up to 36 waist, the waist's massive on them, and there's actually room for my legs, so I'm between sizes, unfortunately. So if you're a 34 waist, I'm left at 35 actually. So if you're a 35, they'll be bang on the waist of a 34 because I can, you can pull this belt in. But if you're like me and you've got chunky thighs, you're going to be between sizes. It's a bit of a nuisance, which is a shame because if there was a bit more room there, they'll be bang on for me. Don't let that put you off though. I think they're a brilliant trouser, one of the best to be honest. It's just the thing about the waterproofing. I think you need waterproof trousers in the UK with good ventilation panels, and that's it really. I think this layering system is good on a jacket and on your upper half, but on the bottom it's just too much of a faff on pulling on waterproof trousers and the like. So there you have it. I've got some Revit Poseidon 2 trousers that I've been using for quite a while. They're one of my favourite go-tos. I'll do a video on them. Got some City Adventure 2 boots there. I can do a review on them. Compare them to these. And I've got the Adventure Spec Linesman jacket. I can do a review on that. And I have owned Climb Badlands, the Mark 1, Mark 2, and I've tried the Mark 3 stuff on. And I forget what I've had there. Climb Carlsbad, Climb Traverse. So I've tried a few different things. All the people I ride with take their mick out with because I buy more stuff than daft mick and then chop it in and get something else. But yeah, I don't do star ratings or anything because I think you make your own mind up, but I'd give them something out of 10. I don't know what. Pretty nice though. Pretty fandango. Thanks for watching, subscribe and all that malarkey, blah blah blah. I'll see you again.